long enough to know what you're thinking. It looks like a primitive weapon in the hands of any soldier in 1775. This was state-of-the-art weaponry. It wasn't designed for accuracy at great range, designed for rapid load, rapid fire, well-trained army, and oftentimes succeeded in battle with rapidity of fire and fire control. New Englanders executed a great deal of fire control and discipline that day. They weren't the best, they were not a professional army, but they certainly knew what they were all about when it came time to fight. Their weapon was no better than the British Army. In some cases, it was worse. We might have had older fowling pieces designed for non-military grade use for bird hunting. Might have been carrying a captured French musket. New England troops had helped to capture Montreal and Quebec and other French towns in Canada and the maritime provinces in the 18th century. Maybe even a Spanish musket picked up in South America or the Caribbean, which New England troops volunteered to fight anywhere for the king and crown in previous colonial wars. They all worked the same way. It's loaded with a small charge of primed with a small charge of gunpowder, loaded with a larger charge of gunpowder. Since we care about our neighbors and we're very afraid of lawsuits, we don't use a musket ball. But if I were using it, you'd hear more of a sharp report like a modern-day firearm, not the boom that you'll hear today. I've been doing this long enough to know how to load and fire in under 15 seconds. I'm not aiming to impress anyone because I've already failed in that. I can see it in your faces. But we certainly are aiming for safety. When you watch this, imagine thousands of New England soldiers, much younger, even younger than Patrick, younger than Hugh, about Kevin's age, except without the beard. They all were well shaven, fairly clean shaven like that. They would be all standing side by side, row upon row, muskets loaded and leveled, ready to go. British soldiers marching up in beautiful formation, as they've been trained to do, and all of these guns going off almost simultaneously. I don't understand the horrors of war because I've never seen war directly. I know plenty of people who have. And I know it must have been horrible what they witnessed because very few could ever talk about it. If these men had a way to explain to us today what they were fighting for, we'd know a lot better about their mission. Instead, we just have a few fragments, documents that exist from the times. But we do have important words. Peter Brown had hoped that in a letter to his mother, that because God preserved his life that day, he hoped that he would fight again, and that he would be of more service to his country the next time his country called for him. And of course, we have General Howe's words and words of other British officers to talk about the horror of that day and the realization that they were in for a long war to follow. There's a lot to think about, folks. One thing you'll remember, long-winded park ranger, and then musket fire. If you have any questions, if I've left gaps in the narrative, which I deliberately did because we simply don't have time today to do service to the story of this battle, please feel free and let me or my fellow Rangers know. You'll make the Patriots very proud that you put the tax dollars to work. That said, I'm going to ask everyone that's got a nice spot on the lawn to get up, come on over to the concrete for your safety. We had a lot of New York